Hey, welcome in everyone to the Barron Market Update. And of course, this is exclusive for our members only. So if you guys are part of our Diamond Circle and maybe you're catching this after the video, it's usually 2 or 3 days after, you can actually get immediate access to this kind of video and more just by joining in and becoming a paid member. The way you do that is very simple. Go over to the memberships tab and you have two options that you guys can get into. One, of course, is the Diamond Circle Pro. This will give you the MSI 2.0 market sentiment indicator. I'll show that to you in a second. We'll be trading on it today as well to give you some ideas of some of the trades that I do and how I use the tool. And or you can get into the mastermind group. Now, the mastermind group gets really good access to me. And one of the biggest things that I do provide is my own personal portfolio. It's only available to the mastermind group. That's where I'm holding a lot of tokens, and you get a chance to see what I'm holding, how long I'm going to hold it. And I do that. I update it usually every week or two. So you guys get a inside look at my personal portfolio and where I'm going with that. So make sure and become a member of the Diamond Circle. And of course, there's, as I said, a couple of ways you can do that. The way that you'll use the tools, though, is through the MSI 2.0. And in the chart, I'm going to jump over here to Bitcoin, and we'll just take a look at uploading the MSI 2.0. Let me reload the page for you guys real quick. So let's take a quick look. So what you'll see is this is on the daily. And right here is our sentiment metrics that show trade sentiment, our volume sentiment, net volume sentiment, overall sentiment. You guys can do that just by having a invite-only membership. What you do is when you do your membership, it'll ask you for your trading view name, and that's where we assign this invite-only script, which is our toolkit MSI 2.0. It'll show up on your trading view account. Along with, you can do other things too. I mean, there's all kinds of scripts out there. These are the invite-onlys that I particularly use. So right there is it. Once you're in the indicator, it's very simple. It shows up on your chart, and then you can go in and modify it. So if you like to, say, set things up a little differently, I have my trailing stop set at 10. You can also show the MACD or not. I'll let that paint up. You can kind of see the MACD showing up in the background. Also, we have put a squeeze momentum in here. You can change your length of the squeeze momentum, money flow length, as well as the swing back on order blocks. So I go back 12 order blocks within it, but you can set that up to whatever you want. If you want to set it down to, say, 10, and then just click OK, and you're in. So a couple of things that we'll paint up for you is these trailing stops. You'll see these red and green lines. This is usually trailing stops, meaning we've got a buy signal. If it aligns with my sentiment and my money flow right now, that would be a good example of this is potentially a long on Bitcoin. So does Bitcoin go back into this order block and possibly top it out around 65K? That'll be the question mark for Bitcoin. Right now, it is showing a signal that it will. So that's one thing you can use. That's one of the tools that you can use within it. I want to get into some of the news today. And of course, the big news is the issue of what's happening over on Breakpoint. This, of course, is Salana. Absolute fire on the amount, no pun intended on fire dancer being going into the main net. But the point is that we have speed and potentially a lot more security and just consistency within the Solana ecosystem. So we are going to see some pretty amazing things within the Solana ecosystem as well. So Fire Dancer, which can process basically 1,000 TPS, is live on the testnet right now. This is going to open up, I think, a lot of opportunity around a variety of different projects and companies that are out there, some of which I think you need to pay attention to. One, of course, is this one right here, and that is PayPal's Jose Fernandez, who's stating that Ethereum isn't the best solution for payments, but prompting that their launch on Salana, which offers token extensions, lower cost, and can process 1,000 transactions per second. This is ideal for mainstream adoption. And this is something I've said all along, is that mainstream adoption is going to be critical here for a handful of tokens. And I think there are 2, maybe 3, that could really be beneficial in this area. And of course, you heard me talk about Salana. I still like Sui, and I also like Aptos, but I'm just not sure on Aptos and Sui as to which one is playing. Maybe I hedge both. We'll talk, and we will show the Sui chart lower today. But that's a good example of some, the things that are happening at breakpoint. And there are things that are starting to move within other tokens out there. Let's go to the charts real quick, and I'll just show you some of the ones. We'll take a look at Salana. And holding at 148 right now, buy signal has been pretty solid on Solana, and our sentiment data on this is absolutely skyrocketing. So I anticipate we're going to see this break through the 162 range right now in that order block. Money flow is starting to come in, and its trend line I like, but more importantly, I like this sentiment hold right now, which is trade MSI is up to 65. And volume is still very, very significant with overall holding it above 50. If we crack around 52 to 55 on overall, this could skyrocket. This could be one of those scenarios where we do see this next order block entered, which is right around 186. So that's what I'm watching there for Solana. AVAX, of course, also a good buy signal here. The other thing too, very, very positive on this. I'm anticipating though, this is just a warm up for Avalanche. And the reason I like that is that I'm anticipating we could zone back in on this $32 to $34 price range. There's one reason why. There is a lot of news coming in from the insiders on Avalanche as to what they're going to be announcing next month in Argentina. So I'm anticipating that Avalanche may be on a long-term move here. So be paying attention to AVAX. Others that I'm watching right now, everybody's been asking me about Madic. I am holding it. I'm holding right now. This is a critical line of defense right now, about 42 cents. It's starting to move into that zone, but it's a long ways from entering another order block. I just don't know if it's there. And the sentiment isn't really solid on Madic just yet. Others that I think could really play out within this, of course, you guys know my position on SUI and IMX. Here's IMX absolutely cranking over the last, this is on the daily, of course, over the last little bit. Let's take a look at what that growth has been from that low to where it's trading right now, about 40%. This is a token that I'm in, and I do like it. I feel like it's going to be back and forth a little bit. If you go to the weekly and go out on IMX, it's way down, so the opportunity for this one to get back into these zones of around 350, it's real. So we could see a 3 to 5x on this one. This is a healthy move. It's not one of those that I think is going to absolutely take off. If we will be doing a meme token and a 10x token video, probably here on Market Update, but definitely over on the YouTube channel. You'll probably catch it here first, but Say, of course, nice little move right here on Say, but my winners right now still are SUI and the SUI ecosystem. This is a weekly. Let me go to the daily. SUI ecosystem right now is a big one. We did a couple of trades on Blub, which I think you guys probably saw a report on that. That absolutely did amazing. I think we ended up doing a 3x over just a short period of time. Within the our advisory group. And if you guys don't know, we have a capital investment group. Barron Capital is part of where we go out and invest in different projects, and not just crypto. We do invest in businesses as well. So, but the point is that I start to look at some of these meme tokens in the SUI ecosystem. I like this one very heavily. And right now, SUI is absolutely on a move that I do not think we are going to see. And remember, SUI has a potential here just in the short run at around doubling still up to around 220. I see SUI as high as $10. So think about that right now. That's an 8x from where we are today. SUI is definitely going to be on the front end. But Aptos is another one that I'm watching. Of course, I do like that one. Within the ecosystem down below, Phantom continues to surprise everyone. And this is still very, very positive on, and I'm going to hold this token. This is one everybody's been telling me to sell. I just won't do it. I'm going to hold it and see if Phantom comes back off of that. Because remember, everybody goes back down to this zone back in last year, this time, 2023. And then that big, catastrophe that happened with Phantom and then down to here. This, to me, is a special token that may end up in the Hall of Fame on this run. So just be watching it. Flow, I'm still going to hold. I still like that one. Ape, I'm going to still hold this as it's made that move up over the last little bit, showing a pretty good sign on sentiment data right now. I still like Audius, obviously for reasons within what's happening on Salana. And the next order block is really way up there. So we've got a potential of seeing Audius coming out of a 13 cent, maybe into this range right here. I don't like the buy signal that the Lux Algo signals and overlay put on this chart. I didn't like it back then. I went with the sentiment data and I felt like we did better. But if you look at Audius, I want to show you something here. Let's go to the weekly. Look at this. Look at where Audius is versus the potential for it. Do not think that this is gone. Music and the integration of creators is going to be huge. And this goes all the way back into, we'll go back into that high right there, which was September 2021. Does anybody remember what that was? Yeah, that was the last bull run. And it was in the cycle of Meta and really a lot of innovation that was happening in audio. So this, I think, is another one that is going to be absolutely on the move in a big way. So lots to look at on Audius going forward. And I still like in the sense that this one is in a position right now to where we could see a nice little move. But you got to be patient with this one. This is one that is not going to be turning quickly. Prime is another one I like. We've been in it for a little bit. I'll probably hold this a little bit longer. Whether or not I exit out of this one in the next, say, 2 to 3 days is really dependent on how this starts to play out over the next little bit. Let me see if I can repaint this on the daily and get a MSI overlay on this one. Here we go. All right, so the MSI money flow has been a little bit stagnant right here. Overall is not bad, but it's still 49.83. That's just under our clip. Once you hit 50, now we're in the positive zone. The stop is looking pretty good right now, so we may see this order block get broken through, which is around, excuse me, that's on Bitcoin. Let's go to Prime real quick. Where was that? Prime. Yeah, we're going to get in there. Here we go. Every time if you just make sure this thing, okay, so there's not enough data on the daily right now on Prime. All right, so I'm still holding this one is the point. This one, we'll get data on it from time to time. It's just, it's hit and miss on the MSI, I've noticed, on what we're being able to get. PAL, of course, smaller token. Some of the ones that I am looking at further down here are, of course, Drift Protocol. This is one that we've been in and out on. And with Drift Protocol, I think the one thing that with Drip that you have to kind of consider is what the opportunity is long-term for Drip. I think is a big deal. This one, of course, is definitely in price discovery zone. Some people are saying, this is really more of a take profit zone right now. But be on the lookout for this one. We'll continue to kind of keep a close eye on this. So back to the news. One of the reasons that, of course, Bitcoin is on the move right now, MicroStrategy coming out with $1 billion for their Bitcoin purchase. They actually engaged on almost a $500 million right here, 458 million right now at 61,750. So this puts them up again. Their Bitcoin yield so far quarter to date was 5%. Their year to date is 17.8%. Which is pretty significant when you think about it. Closing in on $10 billion right now, average price 39 grand. So not bad for MicroStrategy to continue to play this out. And the reason why, well, part of it is this right here, this headline. BlackRock highlights Bitcoin as a hedge against the US dollar concerns. This is BlackRock saying this. This is the biggest money manager in the world saying, let's hedge the US dollar with Bitcoin. I want you to think about that for a second. Now, the other alternatives are if you don't necessarily want the slow gains of a Bitcoin, but positive, we could still see that 100K Bitcoin, maybe even this year, and you're interested in some other alternatives, well, then you have to kind of go back in and maybe consider the opportunity of where Ethereum is right now, because ETH has been in and out. If I go in and look quickly at the ETH trade right now, it's up pretty significantly just over the last little bit for ETH. Now, let's grant it for ETH, still up 3% on the day. But that's another one that I think will be a play. It's not going to be a 10x play. Let's just be clear. If ETH cracks 10K, that is my target. A lot of people are saying that 7,500 might be the window in which you would take profits on ETH. If 7,500 is what's happening with ETH, Bitcoin is probably well over 100K. So that in itself means that we've got some altcoins that are going to be 10xing, 20xing, 30xing, and many of them are in the big hunt for some of these premiums out there. But keep an eye on a handful of these. Sui's the one that I still like. Even when you look outside that zone, we've got a handful of these meme coins, which we're going to do a video for you guys, give you guys a full rundown on that, and dive into where that is. So be on the lookout for all that good stuff. Don't miss it. These are the market updates. So make sure and stay tuned right here. As I said, if you're not dived in on the Diamond Circle, get in right now and become a member. You'll get these market updates. They come in your email, they come in the group. So be on the lookout for them. We do them every week, and these do not go on YouTube. They do not go on the podcast. So catch it right here. We'll catch you guys soon. Take care.